Okay, I'm back for day 2 or part 2 of this video where I will be highlighting black authors, black history, black imagery and stuff like that. So yeah, no long intro. If you haven't watched my first video, it was about the classics and where I purchased things from, but in this video it's going to be all about us. Okay, so the first book is my absolute favorite for my girls and my son now, just because of the message, the imagery and stuff like that. It is Hey Black Child. So if you don't know, this book is, hey Black Child, do you know who you are, who you really are? Do you know you can be what you want to be? If you try to be what you can be, hey Black Child. So that's something that my girls learned early on, to memorize this book, because it's like a message, me sending a message to them. And you know, if you own the book, it's the same with your child too, but I want them to see the images. You know, the illustrations are beautiful. They have it in board book and in the regular picture book, and so this is my top recommendation. The second book, I purchased this because I was looking for different books for my son. I wanted him to see, you know, babies that look like him and just him represented in some way. So it's this book. This is mainly for babies. Please, baby, please. And it says by Spike Lee and Tanya Lewis-Lee. It's very repetitive, but I think it's fitting with the fact that I have a busy son or whatever. Almost to the point where I don't like it, but I think what it shows in the book is fitting, so I do like this one as well. It's time to go. Please, baby, please. Don't be so slow. Baby, 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 please. Please eat your peas. Baby, 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 baby. If you don't like super repetitive, then you may not like this book, but I personally like it just because of the imagery and stuff like that. The next one I got for my son is A Brown Baby Lullaby. So with this book, of course, I wanted to show a black family, black baby or whatever. In this book, I like it because throughout the book they have a few Spanish words, raising a bilingual child or whatever. This is a good thing, but again, I wanted something to look like my child and that my girls are comfortable with, you know, reading and looking at and being able to say he looks like Uriah or something like that. So now I think we're on to the black history type book. What it looks like in the inside, it mentions a few people that have done some things that are notable, groundbreaking or record breaking, or just the first to do it. So yeah, this book, this is goes with the Young Black and Gifted book. This is just the older version, I guess. I have this one as well. This is the Black Heroes, 51 inspiring people from ancient Africa to modern day USA. And this one is the same thing. It's lengthy, you know, but if you just want to introduce certain things to your child, if your child is older, I would say, not a toddler. Bessie Coleman, if you are talking about, like, you know, pilots, flights and stuff like that, I don't think mentioning their name will hurt, even though they don't really understand what you're talking about. So for my girls, I try to, you know, include certain things and let them know. Say if they want to listen to jazz, you know, I can mention Duke Ellington, and you know, maybe show them a clip of him playing, or something like that. So yeah, I think this is just good to have anyway. Katherine Johnson. And that leads me to this other book, which I think is Dream Big, Little One. So here's my next book, Dream Big, Little One. This is a board book. It is very digestible and a good little pick-me-up or motivation or encouragement for your child. So this is Mae Jemison, Reach for the Stars. Like Mae, Bessie, and Catherine, Mae Jemison went all the way to space. Bessie Coleman flew her airplane high. So as you can see, this is more digestible for like toddlers or kindergartners, and then these books that I was mentioning is more so for the older children, or if you just want to read something aloud to your child and just give them more information as opposed to this, then I would pair all of these together. But you know, when it's a sale, I kind of grab things before we need. This one isn't a board book, but this is one that my husband got the girls. He has the 1619 project for us to read, and so we got this for the girls, for them to read, to teach them about, you know, where we come from, slavery and all of that. So this is not a board book, but this is an actual very lengthy but very good book that I would highly recommend you get, you know, so your children can know like where we come from. I think in the beginning it was saying like the teacher asked the girl like, who are you, or where did you come from, and she didn't know like how to explain it, so she went home to ask her grandma like where she came from, and her grandma gave her the history of them taking us into slavery and all that. And so yeah, this is highly recommend. My girls always want me to read this, but it's for long, so yeah, do what you will with that information. The next book I have is this one that's really cute. Have you thinking an inventor today, and this one is really cute for your child to learn about inventions and inventors and the household things and things they use all the time. Like this is talking about Gary Morgan in the traffic light. It tells you like who made the pencil sharpener, the ironing board. It gives simple biographies in the back. It also has a section where your child can fill out and come up with their own inventions. It's a little quiz in the back. And then they ask your child like, what would you like to invent? So I really like this book because, you know, it's just letting them know that the things that we use every single day, somebody that looks like us invented it. And so I think it's very important to teach throughout the year instead of just in February that we're great. We come from a great people. Like, we're known to be the creators, the inventors, the influencers. Not just in February, but every day. Like, history shows that way before slavery. So I really like that book. And then I have this one. I don't have the cover, but it's the ABCs of Black History. If you want to get this book, I think it's really good. There's a few things that I'm not a fan of, but overall I think the book is good for you know, shedding a little light on what happened in Black history. So it goes through the alphabet. This says B is for beautiful. So some other books that I grabbed includes Brown Boy Joy. Of course, this is very popular, and I absolutely love the imagery, the pictures, and stuff like that. And my girls like to read it too. But I just want my son to see himself in books, you know. So I can make sure that my children are walking in the light. You know, they're not looking at other people and thinking they're more superior, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Also, 10 Fingers, 10 Toes, and I love imagery with, you know, father and son. And this book is about 10 Fingers, 10 Toes. It's for Harlem. We can talk about the Harlem Renaissance and all of that. But it also says, and precious in the sight of the mighty God. So it's a message to it, you know, letting your child know that they were created in the sight of God, and you can extend or you elaborate as much as you want to. This is, you know, very simple book. And then I want to say that's it, but I know I have way more books. If you have little girls, I like this book, I Am Enough. I don't know if this is like a Black author or whatever. I have to double check, but I think it's self-explanatory. I Am Enough. We also have Hair Love, of course, with little girls. They go through like this identity type thing where they're looking at dolls in the store. They're not sure whether or not their hair is, you know, the best hair or the most beautiful. And so I have different books here to kind of tell my girls or show my girls that, you know, our hair is beautiful. Like, you can do so much with your hair, and I want them to love their hair. So this is something I started very early with, like, different styles and just, you know, giving them a glimpse into what can be done with their hair, and just instilling that self-love in them super early, so they won't have to question who they are, whether they're good enough, whether they're pretty enough. You know, they know that right off the bat. Some other books I have about hair is Hair Like Mine. And so this is basically letting a little girl know that everybody's different, but no two people are the same, but you're unique. It also has a message where the mom and the sister went through all of the people that they knew, even twins, and it showed where the twins, you know, had differences and stuff like that, from their freckles to their feet to their eyes. But it was basically saying like no one is like you, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, you're unique. I'm all for the imagery. So this is Hair Like Mine. And then the other book I have is Your Own Kind of Beautiful. And so this is a little girl who had a friend that had straighter hair, or, you know, a looser texture of hair, and she was kind of like jealous of her because her hair was kind of like, you know, kinky, and it didn't do as much. But little did she know the other little girl wanted her hair because she saw how when it got wet in the rain, it didn't draw up. She didn't have to get a blow dryer and do all of the stuff that the other girl had to do. And so, you know, this was her mother and her sister instilling in her that both of you guys are beautiful. You should love your hair, you know, and just letting her know that her friend may feel the same way about her. So be your own kind of beautiful. I love messages like this for my daughters. And then I want to say I have 2 more books for this video. This is Bedtime Bonnet, more on the hair and self-love. And this is a cute little story where, you know, it shows how everyone in the family preps their hair the night before, whether they're tying their, you know, head wrap, wrapping their hair with a bonnet, curls, you know, all of this stuff. And I think it's really, really cute that she was searching for her bonnet. She couldn't find it. She was asking everyone in the house where was her bonnet or whatever, and basically just preparing for bedtime. And yeah, I think that's self-explanatory. I bought this when it first came out. And then the last book I have is Full of Love, and this book is about a grandson going up his grandma's house for Sunday dinner. And you know, the storyline is you know, he was really impatient in the kitchen. You know, his grandma was cooking. You know, grandmas take forever to cook, but basically he got into some candy or whatever. All the family came around. He kind of bugged her until the food was done, and then yeah, I think it's a cute little story. It was recommended on some blogs I was reading. I want to say that's all of the books that I have right now to show, but again, if not, then I'll do a part 3. But I think that's it. Like, when I look for books, I look for the basics, but I also look for representation. That's really, really important for me. I want my children to look at books and see that, hey, that looks like me, or I can do anything, things like that, just to show them that, you know, we're capable of doing anything. Like, nothing that you think you can be is off limits. But, you know, just allow my children to dream big, to see themselves represented in any type of literature that I pull out. And also letting them see people in person, like actually going to black dentists, black doctors, seeing black lawyers, black hairstylists, you know, whatever occupation, career that I can find, and I see someone look like us, I take that opportunity to expose it to them. So if you enjoyed this little series, let me know. Now the book series is closed. I have some things that I have not covered that are of importance, then I'll do a part 3. But if not, this is the end of the book series. Hopefully you find some good ones that's you know, a good fit for your family.